world is going on in Asia, brother? What is going on over there? Because we're seeing some insane, some crazy, and some historic results. Qatar trumps Iran.
Yep.
Team Melli is off the telly. Qatar has won. Qatar has won to make it to a back-to-back defending appearance in the final now through an insane result, man. I mean, we went nuts just 24 hours ago when we reacted to Jordan defeating South Korea, which is already a crazy upset.
Yep.
Now we have Qatar, the host nation here, coming out on top against a team that both you and I and many other people thought would win this match, man. Qatar through to the final. And God, what is your initial reaction?
Dude, what on earth did we just witness?
Yep.
I damn near had a heart attack at the end of this game. Yesterday, we were given a crazy demolition from an underdog of the likes that I have never honestly ever seen, especially that late into a tournament. And then today, we just got a chaotic end-to-end match between host and Giants Iran, where the hosts come out on top, as you just so wonderfully put, bro.
I tried.
But dude, oh my God, what a crazy, crazy game.
Yeah,
you
I
asked
don't
me,
know
what
anymore.
did we even watch? I don't know.
I don't know anymore, bro.
what happened, bro. I couldn't tell you. Thing is, strap in, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go play-by-play 2-hour episode today. Let's get right into it, man. Because this game starts off with a beautiful piece of improvisation from the one and only Sardar Azmoun.
A beauty. And you just thought with that beautiful bicycle kick goal from the best Irani player right now in Sardar Azmoun, you just thought this game was in the absolute bag.
Yeah.
They go up 1-0 within 3 minutes. But like you said, what a beautifully improvised move on the spot, caresses it into the back of the net, lobs it over two players, and he finishes the opportunity. Iran goes up 1-0, and I'm feeling really good about my prediction. And I'm also just thinking, this is what I thought would happen. Things are looking right. The universe is aligned correctly. Like right now, Iran is gonna go through.
I had the same emotion when it was 1-0 that quick. I was like, oh, okay. I was expecting 30th minute, not right here in the third minute. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll calm down a little and see how this first half evolves. But my God, man, the next 20-30 minutes ended up being a really chippy affair where Iran couldn't get a lot of the ball. It was Qatar actually with a decent amount of possession. But not only that, they came out with a real aggression. They were starting to win all the 50-50 battles in the midfield. And then finally we had that play on the right-hand side. Akram Afif, the one and only, tees up Jasem, who blasted at the top of the box, gets a very fortunate deflection off the Irani defender, and just loops over a helpless Beiranvand.
Yeah, that was an unlucky bounce right there. The shot was from outside the box. It didn't have much sting on it, but that deflection was killer, man. Killer deflection. Unstoppable. Beiranvand can't do anything about it. Qatar equalizes it 1-1. I'm like, we've got ourselves a match. Strap in.
Yeah, it was that type of goal is the type of goal that Qatar has been scoring in every single game this entire journey to the final. So when that went in, I was like, oh, okay, the host magic's not done.
That's true, yeah.
Qatar's still riding this insane wave of host energy. It's 1-1. Now let's see how Iran respond. And here's the crazy part. They didn't. They really didn't,
Iran didn't.
They didn't respond. And I cannot believe it, because what ended up happening after that goal was honestly a masterclass in how to press Iran from Qatar.
Yeah.
Because they just got stronger, faster, and just better in every regard. And completely epitomized by that second goal. Because when Akram Afif picks up the ball on the top left-hand corner, it was a beautiful tackle that started it. Right in the midfield. The Qatari player wanted it more. An insane tackle. Dishes it out to Akram Afif. And if you haven't seen this goal, please do yourself a favor and go watch this. Because,
R9 2002. Miroslav Klose 2006, 2010. Diego Forlan 2010. James Rodriguez 2014. Kylian Mbappe 2018. Leo Messi 2022. And on that same exact land in the same exact stadium, Akram Afif 2023 AFC Asian Cup. He's in that category now, bro. Dude. Put him on Mount Rushmore if you want, man. Put that big afro up there in the mountains, dude. What a player. He is having the tournament of his life right now. I cannot believe it, because the quality of these goals, bro. The confidence. We've already talked about all of this. He's continued it, bro.
Yeah.
But Akram Afif epitomizes just a player that's fully informed and that is just carrying his team forward. He's been so clinical, so smart and dangerous on the ball every time that he's on it, man. Like, Iran really were on their toes every time he was on the ball, and it was just crazy to see because Akram Afif has completely risen to the occasion and he's become Qatar's star boy, having this moment specifically to him, scoring an absolute curler of a banger, bro. Beautiful goal, and I just had to applaud it. I really did.
Dude, yes.
Yeah.
The word I said after that goal went in, I was like, Akram Afif is truly unplayable this tournament. You can't play him.
Yep.
He's going to beat you no matter who's defending him. What a goal. Qatar go up 2-1. And to finish the half, man, this was one of the craziest endings to a half. Not as far as what happened in the game, but the energy in the stadium was insane, man. It felt like a World Cup final. It was just ridiculous. The amount of energy that the crowd was giving and how aggressive Qatar and Iran were going at it. But the half ends 2-1. And at this point, I'm like, okay, Iran didn't respond. I'm expecting something from them in this second half. And just, a little tactics here. It's so interesting, but it actually does make sense. I remember after the group stage, I said the only team that showed a blueprint on how to actually beat Iran, ironically, was Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Because if you watch that game, Beiran Vand, Kanani, Golizadeh, and the fullbacks as well struggled to play from the back because Hong Kong applied a full press. And that is exactly what Qatar did in this first half against Iran, and it worked. They won the ball so high up the pitch, pressured Iran, and Iran once again failed to deal with it, bro. They were forced to always throw the ball over the top, and the thing is, Qatar was so ready to receive it. Lucas Mendes was immense at the back, dude. He was everywhere, but his positioning was perfect. And so every time Iran tried to break the press, they simply could not. So I was so curious to see, could Iran fix this huge issue in the second half, or are Qatar just going to do the same thing?
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, for a while it was that. I think it's why I actually found myself very affected and very hurt by what ended up being a brutal penalty call against Qatar, man.
Yeah.
A brutal penalty call with Iran shooting the ball, and I can't remember who it was. Maybe Jahan Bash, I can't remember. It was on a volley, and it was quick. But the Qatari defender just flails his arms in the process. They're in front of his face, and it hits his hands in that motion. It's really, really tough, man, because if his hands aren't there, I think it hits his face. He gets smacked, bro. And so I saw it, and I personally, if I was reffing this game, I would have let it slide because to me, that doesn't look like an intentional handball. Obviously, you wish he would have his hands down, but it was almost, if anything, an instinctual reaction there by putting his hands up in that motion. The penalty gets looked at, and the thing is, the way this tournament has been calling penalties, I immediately saw that, that this was going to get called, man. There was no way that they weren't going to call this based off of the rules that they have laid in place since the very beginning of this tournament. We've commented on it. It's been good in moments, but it's also been bad in some where they call these really, really soft penalties. Dude. It's just part of it, man. It really is. Yeah. And the thing is, they have been consistent with this, so I give them credit for that, but it just worked against Qatar in this situation because they end up giving the penalty to Iran, and Jahan Bash absolutely nails it in a very, very big moment.
Goes straight down the middle. I was wondering if Barshan was going to stay just like he did against Masharipov against Uzbekistan in that penalty shootout. Doesn't. Iran equalized 2-2. But yeah, I do want to comment just a little bit on that handball as well. I was just gutted because I was like, damn it, not like this. I didn't want Iran to respond like this. Obviously, nothing to do with them. It's a referee call. But I just, in my book, even though it's not the official referee book, it's just not a pen. Yeah. But you said it. They've been consistent. The moment you saw it, I'm like, okay, they're going to call it. And the thing is, bro, every time an AFC official has gone to the screen, they always agree with the VAR.
Yeah, almost always.
I'm pretty sure it's 99% this whole tournament. They almost never look at it and be like, nah, I'm going to stay with my own, or I'm going to disagree here. They always go with what VAR recommends. Usually it's right. In this case, I just think it's so soft, but they've been consistent. And I put my hands behind my back like you should on defense. I'm just like, out of my hands. Yep. Nothing I can do here. 2-2. And honestly, Iran I'll say they do a little better, but they never reached a peak to where I was like, okay, they're going to get a definitive third goal and ultimately take the lead. Qatar definitely let off a little bit. Iran definitely had more of the ball, more intention, but there was never a moment where I was like, okay, Iran's, let's say, quote unquote, dominating this match in the second half.
I thought there was a moment about 10 minutes spell where they were looking really good, man. They were starting to counter everything that Qatar was putting out there. And I think at one point there was a goal line clearance involved. I think it was with Lucas Mendes. They pushed it to that point, and so Iran got really close, I think, to taking the lead. But I don't know, man. I just like the way this game was going. The longer each minute progressed, and that Iran wasn't scoring, it just played into Qatar's favor. And as I was watching the game, I was like, is this going to end with Qatar just somehow getting a surprise goal here and taking the lead? Because that's the way that was essentially what their game plan turned to after the 70th minute, was to surprise Iran on the counter and just have, or rather on a mistake that they imposed upon themselves. And then it ends up happening with Almoez Ali scoring a goal against the run of play completely. A mistake in the back line, hands the ball off. Almoez Ali receives it at the top of the box, turns his body, and he has a beautifully placed shot to the bottom left corner, showing signs of the prime Almoez Ali that we've known to be, man, scoring a huge pivotal goal here to take the lead and make it 3-2.
A beautiful finish. One that, as you just said, we've kind of been waiting for from Almoez Ali. He's been a little quiet this tournament, but when it really mattered, he receives the ball a foot onside, by the way. Rami Rezaeian a little lazy to get back, but barely. But he takes the moment, fully takes advantage of this opportunity, slots it inside netting. Qatar go 3-2. But for me, Iran, even though they did press the situation before that goal and they tried to press the situation after, they never, I just think they never got full stride. Not the way they did against Japan. Mohebi comes on for Omid. I think that's a good move. Defensive midfielder comes off, attacker playing comes on. But I think other than Asmoon and Jahan Bash, I didn't see it from Iran. I just didn't see it, man. Interesting that no Gayetti, maybe he was slightly injured. I thought that was interesting. Taremi, I thought was okay.
Yeah, he wasn't really there, man.
He wasn't really there, man. So I just think Iran, from certain perspectives, I think really got surprised here. They lacked an urgency. Both fullbacks, Haj Safi, nightmare in the first half, gets subbed off. Rami Rezaeian was sloppy, really sloppy, bro. And unfortunately, they don't have Moharami. He's been injured this entire tournament. So I think a lot of players did not show up today for Iran, whereas a lot of players for Qatar, and also the tactics and game plan from Tintin Marquez, I think ultimately showed out here. Qatar, I think, are the deserved winners and what was a wild, wild finish. But what's crazy, 3-2, it just got even crazier. 15 extra minutes were added on to the end of this game, man. And Iran obviously get very desperate, as they should have. And my God, they got real close, bro. They got real close to
That's
equalizing.
when they finally pushed the envelope, was in those last 15 minutes. Good Lord, man. The fans that were in attendance were losing their minds with every shot that came at them. But to me, this is the story of this game. Qatar's defense, bro. Qatar's defense at the end of the day showed the fuck out, and that's who deserves the credit for this performance, because when you look at it, what it took to defeat this Iran team, all they actually conceded to them was a soft ass penalty and an insane bicycle kick by the quality of Asmoon.
Yeah, true.
Outside of that, bro, Iran tried everything and it would not work. Whether they were on it or not, I don't think it matters, because Qatar showed up on this day, dude. So I give them credit for that. And those last 10 minutes, man, just made me earn so much respect for them, because Iran went at them, bro, and it culminated in one of the just most dramatic endings to an Asian Cup game we've seen here, with Jahan Bash hitting the post. Hitting the post in what would have been a beautifully placed shot in the last and final minute. You can add on Barshan's insane deflected save that he had as well. And a minute later, bro, those last 2 minutes were football at its finest, but also football at its most chaotic, dude. It was an insane display of this sport, man, and Iran ends up falling short. But, man, what a match they gave us in those last moments, man. Like, it really was on edge. This game had everything.
It had everything. Seriously, I'm not exaggerating here. Probably one of the craziest, greatest AFC games I've ever seen. This one's etched into my memory for the rest of my life. I'm never going to forget Qatar-Iran semifinal 2024, technically 2023 for branding reasons. But even Qatar in those moments broke out against a depleted backside of Iran. And could have gotten a fourth goal too. Yeah. Almoez Ali had a huge moment, decided to get a little selfless. Yeah. And it was the wrong decision. Akram Afif pointed out, pushed him in the reaction. He's like, come on, bro, finish. Take the shot. But it's just, dude, an insane way to finish this match. But yes, Qatar fully deserved it in every single way. What a game, end to end, beautiful goals, and just insane emotion.
Okay, match rating, where do you go with this one?
I'm going 9.5, man.
9.5.
This is ridiculous.
Wow, okay. I'll meet you. We'll go 9.5, and that makes it officially the highest rated match of this game. And I believe, producer Rod, the 9.5 actually rounds out to a 10. So can we see the 10 graphic here, please? 10, yeah. We got a 10. We finally got a 10 on the pod, bro. The first time this semifinal had everything, dude, and it absolutely deserved it. Qatar goes through, and they see themselves in the final.